I believe this is the section that incurred the most water damage. And I could tell from the color change as we go back this way. And that water damage has affected this whole rear end of the camper, so that as I was removing this back side, all I did was pull it out, and it just came out. Didn't even have to remove any screws. So this area has been badly affected, and I'm pretty sure once I tear this apart, I'm going to find tons of mold and mildew and all kinds of unpleasant chemical interactions as a result of the leakage. This must be the underlayment that they put, wrap it underneath the camper. I'm going to try and persuade this back section right here to dismantle. I don't have a big sledgehammer, but I believe this could do some persuasion. Let's see what happens. Definitely a lot more time consuming and requires more energy to use a sledgehammer, but you do get a lot done. The remnants are tons of little scraps of wood and insulation all over the place, and I suppose picking it up is also kind of a mess and time consuming. What I would like to do or try tomorrow is get a Sawzall with a 12-inch blade and cut these things in sections, in manageable sections, so that when it comes time to trashing them, it's not such a pain and you're not wasting tons of time by collecting all of it. You just pick up the whole piece. Perhaps I cut them in, 3 feet by whatever, 8.5 feet, and I can carry those sections into the pickup truck and unload them at a dumpster or wherever I take them. a few things that I've noticed about how this camper is designed, and I would like to show you the few things. I did mention the EPDM on the roof. It wasn't carried all the way back here. As the roof met with the back side of the camper, that EPDM was not carried all over the place, coming down. It needs to come down and overlap in order for it to be completely watertight. So that was one of the things that I would change in my tiny house design. I also noticed that they have metal plates that I guess it's sort of a, second measure or whatever to secure the studs, the 2x2 studs to the bottom joists, floor joists, and they've used metal plating, aluminum plating is what it looked like, and they've stapled the plating to the joist and to the stud. That's on top of the nails that are already, holding the stud to the joist. So that aluminum plating adds, extra strength, I suppose, to the frame. And so I will incorporate that into mine. The other thing they have done is they have applied a silicone, an adhesive / silicone onto every stud, and then as sort of like glue, and glued so that adhesive / sealant would hold the exterior sheathing, if you can call it that, as well as staples. So they've used silicone and staples. So that's also something that I will incorporate in my tiny house. That's pretty much all I've noticed. It's very well designed, apart from the roof situation. Today I brought a few different tools that I'm going to try, and hopefully this time it'll go a little bit quicker. I managed to do quite a bit last time, though, considering all I had was a drill and a sledgehammer and some pry bars. So today I brought a few tools, a couple circular saws, an angle grinder with a cutting disc, the Sawzall, a reciprocating saw, and a couple jigsaws, and blades for them. I'm hoping these tools, combined with the persuader and the drill, hopefully can get the job done today. My time frame here is looking good. I'm hoping I could at least tear down half of this camper by today, or probably even more by today. And then tomorrow I can gather all these scraps, put them in a pile somewhere, and then the following day I could begin tearing apart the floor and hopefully start to do the underbody work. Figuring out where my holding tanks are going to be, if and whether I'm going to leave them in the same places they are right now. probably not, considering, you know, my bathroom's not going to be in the same place that it is right now, so I'd have to do some underbody, under frame, under chassis planning, and routing plumbing pipes to the different places. And then, well, my plan is to complete the underbody first before I even begin to think about putting the floor on. So that's the sequence that I'll be following. I'm gonna try and cut this section right here and cut it in as far as I could stretch, and then see if this thing will collapse. I think it'd make a lot of sense if I go up on the roof, take that circular saw with me, and just slice, you know, by 3-foot sections, and slice this whole roof all the way. And then, because the thickness of this roof, it's not very thick. It's about just two inches thick. So that blade right there could go through 2 inches on that circular saw. So I should just make slices, and just slice. Don't slice the stud at the ends. Just slice the middles. That way it would collapse while I'm still up there. Yeah, so just slice the roof, but leave a 2-inch gap from the edge, from both edges. I'll give that a try. There has to be an efficient way of doing this. Now I've got to be careful because I don't know how sturdy this roof is. Probably start cutting from that end over this way. Do the next 3-foot section. I'm sure somebody who's going to be watching this, somebody somewhere is going to be crying, "No, that is a nice roof! Why?" Don't worry, I will put the same kind of roof on my tiny house, but I'll just do it differently. All right, let's do this middle section. Let's do a 3-foot section, I mean. I'm gonna try and begin 2 inches from the end so that, well, actually, no. I'm just gonna start from this end. I'll leave 2 inches on that end so I don't have to carry the ladder. I don't have to move the ladder from there to here just to slice the 2 inches that I left. So I'll just do that on one end. So here I'll start from the very edge. I pretty much got to the end, but I just realized there's a stud. Actually, I didn't just realize that right now. I knew before that there was a stud that was actually almost seems like a 2x6 on the end that runs from, corner to corner. So in that case, I could just carry it on to the end. Don't even care about leaving that 2-inch gap. 2-inch. How you ruin good wood blades. Cutting through nails and copper wires and anything metal. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to Hey, look at that, a butterfly. Every time I see a butterfly, I just want to yell, "The Eagles! The Eagles!" Here's a cross-section of the roof. And that is how they have achieved the pitch, I guess, or the concavity of the roof. And it's quite interesting how they've done it. This is all mostly 2x2s. But it looks like there's some 2x4s in here. Excuse me. Okay, this is the piece that broke off. pretty much the same R value, same kind of insulation that was on the walls. The roof's insulation should be a lot thicker than the walls, because the principles of how heat transfer occurs, and the fact that heat rises, they should have at least doubled or tripled the insulation in the roof. That's not the case. I guess these things aren't, for hardcore winter places. Yeah, so some of these design ideas I'm gonna keep and use. If somebody else was saying that same sentence, I'm sure they would have used the word utilize instead of use. My instructor, one of my instructors for, actually it was an intro to engineering class, he said, if anybody uses the word utilize in their presentation, I will give them a 0. Simply because the word sounds complex, but it's unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. Use is the same thing. Just use simple words. People like simple words. You don't gotta sound complicated. For what? No need for sophistication up in here. All you gotta do is just design. Be good at designing. That's an engineer right there. Terrible at communication, but great at design.